The day the galaxy went silent, the galaxy was never quiet. Stars burned, ships traveled, and millions of worlds moved in their own rhythm. Every second, signals crossed space like endless whispers. Trade fleets jumped through gates, and alien cities glowed with life. On this day, everything changed. At the edge of known space, an old listening station picked up a sound. It was not loud, but it was deep, a signal so strong that it pushed through layers of cosmic noise. The station alarms woke up after centuries of silence. Data rushed to the core worlds. Screens lit up with warning colors. The signal did not match any known race. It did not follow any known pattern. Across the galaxy, leaders felt a strange fear. Ancient empires paused their wars. Merchant clans stopped their routes. Even pirate fleets powered down their weapons. The signal was coming closer. In the Great Council chamber, the strongest races gathered. Tall beings of light stood beside machines of cold metal. Creatures born from gas clouds floated near stone-skinned warriors. All of them watched the same image, a shadow. It was moving through space without using any known gate. The shadow was massive, larger than moons, longer than city worlds. Sensors struggled to measure it. Every scan returned a different number. Energy readings went off the scale. Shield levels could not be calculated. Fear spread quietly. Some leaders spoke in low tones. Others stayed silent. No one laughed. No one joked. This was not a fleet. This was a single object. As the shadow moved, closer stars behind it seemed to dim. Light bent around its shape. Space itself looked tired near it. It was as if the universe was holding its breath. A young analyst finally spoke. Her voice shook as she read the report. The object is slowing down. It is entering shared galactic space. The Council reacted at once. Defense systems powered up across dozens of worlds. Planetary shields were raised. Ancient weapons were unlocked from vaults. Then came another shock. The shadow changed. Lights appeared along its surface. Hard lines formed from the darkness. The shape became clear. It was a ship, not a living world, not a weapon platform. A ship built with purpose. Its armor was thick and layered. Its surface showed scars of old battles. Massive cannons rested along its sides. Engines glowed with controlled fire. This ship was made for war. A name appeared on the screens, translated automatically by galactic systems. The words were simple, but they carried weight. Titan-class warship. Confusion spread through the chamber. No known race used that classification. No known race could build something like this. Then the final data line appeared. Origin, species, human. The room fell silent. Some leaders searched old records. Some shared confused looks. Humans were a minor race, a young species from a distant blue world. How could humans build this? The ship stopped moving, right at the center of galactic space. It did not fire. It did not threaten. It simply waited. The galaxy held its breath. Because this was not just first contact. This was the moment everything would change. They laughed at the word human. The galaxy had never heard the word human in such a serious warning. For centuries, humans were considered small, weak, and unimportant. Most racers believed humans were still living in primitive cities on a tiny blue planet. They laughed at the idea that a human could build a ship that made the galaxy stop. In the council chambers, tall beings of light floated and whispered. Stone-skinned warriors shook their heads in disbelief. Gas cloud creatures bubbled nervously, unsure of what to make. We have records of humans, one elder said. They are children compared to our empires. A merchant clan leader chuckled. Children with one ship. What can they do? Pirates laughed even louder. Let them come. We will destroy them easily. The young analyst watched in horror. She had studied the human records. She knew humans were survivors, not conquerors, but no one listened. Everyone relied on old prejudices. Meanwhile, the Titan warship moved closer. Sensors measured its mass. Every number broke known physics. Energy readings went beyond the highest limits. Weapons and shields trembled under its silent presence. One diplomat finally spoke, a calm, ancient voice. Do not underestimate them, but we must prepare in case of war. Across the galaxy, worlds began to panic. Trade fleets stopped mid-journey. Mercenary ships powered down. Even the most violent races prepared for battle. Yet a strange feeling grew. Something about the humans made everyone uneasy. The Titan sent its first signal. It was simple, clear, and calm. A human voice echoed through space. "We are humans," the voice said. "We come in peace, but we are ready for war." The room fell silent again. No one had expected such honesty. No one had expected calm confidence. Some alien leaders frowned. Others felt fear twist in their stomachs. "The humans, they are serious," whispered a gas cloud elder. "They are not begging, not asking, just stating." The council debated feverishly. Some wanted to attack immediately. Others argued for caution. Everyone agreed on one thing. This was not a normal human. This was something different. Across dozens of planets, humans were being discussed. Children who once played in small cities were now known across galaxies. The galaxy laughed at their history, and the galaxy was about to learn. That laughter could be dangerous. The Titan stopped near the galactic boundary. It did not fire. It did not move aggressively. But every sensor showed its readiness. Every weapon glowed faintly. Every shield shimmered quietly. Alien races realized one truth. This was not a ship built for trade or exploration. This was a warship, and humans were not weak. Humans had survived things no one else could. Humans had learned to fight when others would hide. The council tried to prepare plans. Battle simulations were run. Weapons were deployed on alert. But deep in their hearts, leaders knew something. Humans were unpredictable, and unpredictability was dangerous. The young analyst whispered to her mentor. "They are not asking for anything," she said. "They are only telling us, be careful." The galaxy laughed at the word human, and in the next moment, it held its breath. Because the laugh was the last mistake anyone would make. The Titan waited quietly, a shadow across the stars. A silent warning, and the galaxy realized humans had arrived, and they were not here to play. The message that froze the stars, the Titan drifted silently in the void, its engines glowing softly against the black of space. Every sensor in the galaxy watched. Every fleet waited nervously. No one knew what the humans would do next. Then, without warning, a signal burst through every system. It was not a scream. It was not a threat. It was calm, clear, and deliberate. A human voice spoke. Simple words, full of confidence. "We are humans," the voice said. "We come to speak, and we come prepared for war if necessary." The words echoed across planets, across empires, across millions of species. The galaxy froze. No one had expected such calm honesty. Alien leaders stared at each other. Some could not believe their ears. A council of war generals shook their heads. "They speak of peace, but the ship behind them tells another story," whispered one. "No one can measure their true power," said another. The voice continued. "We have traveled far to meet you. We do not come to conquer, but we do not accept threats. We are ready to defend ourselves and those who cannot defend themselves." For the first time, the galaxy listened in silence. Even those who hated humans paused. The words were simple, but the meaning was heavy. Humans were not begging, not hiding, not threatening blindly. They were stating facts, calm, strong, and undeniable, on many worlds. People watched transmissions on large screens. They had never seen humans before. Most had thought humans were weak, but the tone of the message made them rethink everything. Even the oldest warriors could feel fear and a strange respect. The Titan warship sent images along with the message, shots of its massive hull, its weapons, its shields. Nothing was overdone. Nothing was exaggerated. Every image was a clear statement. Humans were capable. Humans were ready. Humans were not to be underestimated. Back in the council chambers, debates raged. Some races argued for immediate attack. Others urged caution, but the message had already planted doubt. No one was certain what humans would do next. No one could predict their moves. The young analyst watched quietly. She felt the power of the message. She understood why humans were feared despite their small numbers. "They are different," she whispered. "They are calm, but deadly when needed." Across trading planets, merchants whispered to each other. Across pirate fleets, captains held back plans of attack. Across scientific stations, researchers recalculated every known human capability. The Titan's message had frozen the stars. It had paused wars, stopped invasions. It had changed minds in a single moment. And then the voice concluded, "We have no quarrel with your people. We seek knowledge. We seek contact. But we will not bow to fear. And we will not bow to threats." The council went silent. Every leader understood the weight of the words. They realized humans were not ordinary. They realized humans could not be ignored. In the emptiness of space, The Titan remained still, watching, waiting, its calm message still echoing in every system. The galaxy could no longer laugh at humans. The galaxy could no longer ignore them. For the first time, the stars themselves seemed to pause. The voice of humans had frozen the galaxy, and the universe knew one thing clearly: humans had arrived, and everything would never be the same again. Why humans built the Titan, a galaxy still buzzed with questions. How could a small species build such a ship? Many wondered. Some racers whispered stories of ancient humans. Few had remembered the wars humans had fought. Few knew the true history of Earth. Long ago, humans had suffered. Their planet had been attacked by stronger enemies. Cities had burned. Millions had been lost. Yet humans had survived. Every time, they had learned from failure. Every time, they had grown stronger. The Titan was born from that history. It was not built to conquer. It was built to protect. Every layer of armor, every weapon, every shield was designed to survive impossible attacks, and survive humans had. Scientists and engineers worked for decades. They studied stars, black holes, and enemy technology. They built the Titan with patience, care, and purpose. It was not the first human warship, but it was the strongest. It carried the pride of an entire species, and the pain of countless losses. On Earth, humans remembered their past. They remembered cities turned to rubble. They remembered friends lost to war. They remembered mistakes, and they vowed never to be weak again. The Titan carried more than weapons. It carried knowledge. It carried humans' will to survive. It carried their message. We are small, but we are strong. Alien observers tried to understand. They looked at the design. They analyzed every system. But the Titan was different from anything known. It was efficient, deadly, and intelligent. It was a warship built by experience, not by ambition, not by greed. Humans had learned to fight, not for glory, not for conquest, but for survival. Every battle they had faced taught them a lesson. Every loss shaped their strategy. Every victory reminded them of what they protected. The Titan was a symbol, a warning, and a shield. A sign that humans could defend themselves, and defend others if needed. Alien leaders started to understand. It was not just the size of the ship that mattered. It was the mind behind it. It was the humans themselves, calm, patient, unshakable, able to survive what others could not. For centuries, humans had lived under the shadow of stronger empires. They had been underestimated, laughed at, ignored, but every time they had survived, every time they had returned stronger. The Titan reflected that history. It was built with lessons from Earth, with memories of battles and losses, with the determination of a species that refused to be weak. In the council chambers, discussions shifted. Fear grew in the hearts of some leaders. Respect grew in the hearts of others. One thing was clear: humans were not ordinary, and the Titan was more than a ship. It was a story, a warning, a promise. The galaxy began to realize the Titan was not humanity's strongest weapon. It was not meant to destroy. It was meant to make the galaxy understand. Humans were here, and they had endured more than anyone could imagine. They were ready, and the universe would have to pay attention. The galaxy makes a choice. The galaxy had watched the Titan in silence. Every race had felt its presence. Every mind had struggled to understand the humans. Some still doubted. Some still planned attacks. But all knew one truth: humans were not ordinary. In the council chambers, debates raged louder than before. Some leaders wanted to strike first, to destroy what they feared. Others argued for peace. Wait, they said. Observe, learn. They may not be our enemies. Outside, fleets moved cautiously. Ships powered up, weapons ready. But no one dared fire, not yet. The Titan did not move aggressively. It hovered quietly. Its presence alone warning and protecting. Sensors showed every weapon in the galaxy. And the humans did not panic. They did not threaten unnecessarily. They only waited. Then the first demonstration came. A small moon on the edge of a star system. It had been damaged, its surface breaking apart. The colony on it was in danger. Without hesitation, the Titan activated shields, wrapping the entire moon in a protective barrier, saving millions from death. The galaxy watched in awe. This was no attack. This was no war. It was proof of human strength and human wisdom. Some races felt shame. They had planned destruction. They had laughed at humans. And now, they realized, humans were not only powerful, they were capable of mercy. and protection. Debates continued in the council. Do we attack them now? One leader asked. No, said another. We must choose wisely. Humans are strong, yes, but their power is not reckless. It is precise, controlled, intelligent, across the galaxy. Messages spread, trade fleets paused, pirates stopped attacks, scientists recalculated strategies. Every species began to rethink their choices. The Titan had forced them to consider peace, because destruction would mean facing a force they could not predict. The young analyst watched. She understood why. Humans had built the Titan. She understood why they had arrived silently. They were not here to conquer. They were here to survive, and to test the galaxy. To see if the galaxy could meet them with respect, not fear. Some alien factions still wanted war. They tested their weapons, they prepared fleets, but the humans did not attack. They only waited, their message clear. Attack us, and you will face what you cannot imagine. Respect us, and you may survive with dignity. The galaxy began to realize the choice. It was simple, yet impossible. Attack humans and risk annihilation, or respect humans and join in a new era. Many leaders chose wisely. Peace became stronger. Then fear, curiosity replaced suspicion. A fragile alliance began to form. The Titan remained a silent guardian, hovering above the chaos, a shadow across the stars. Its presence a constant reminder. Humans were here, humans were powerful, and the galaxy had a choice to make. For the first time, the stars themselves seemed to breathe. They waited with the galaxy, waiting to see what would come next. And slowly, the choice became clear. Humans would not be ignored, and the galaxy would never be the same. The beginning of a human era. The galaxy had held its breath for days. Now, slowly, leaders began to understand. Humans were not just a small species from a blue planet. They were survivors, strategists, and protectors. The Titan had shown them the truth. In the council chambers, discussions shifted. Fear turned into respect. Old enemies looked at each other with new understanding. Trade agreements were reconsidered. Peace talks began quietly. The galaxy had learned a lesson in humility. The Titan moved silently through the stars, not as a conqueror, not as a destroyer, but as a symbol, a guardian of humans and their allies. Its massive form cast shadows over planets, and its presence reminded everyone of human power. Across worlds, messages spread. Humans had arrived. Humans were strong. Humans were to be respected. Merchants and scientists alike studied their history. Children on distant worlds whispered their names. Legends of humanity were being born. On Earth, humans watched the galaxy respond. They had prepared. They had survived. They had come not to conquer, but to protect themselves and others. And the universe had begun to recognize their place. Not all races were happy. Some still feared humans. Some still questioned their motives. But even they could not ignore the Titan, or the message it carried. Humans had changed the rules of the galaxy, and the galaxy would never return to the way it was. The young analyst watched the Titan quietly. She understood that this was only the beginning. A new era had started, one where humans had power, and with that power came responsibility. A responsibility the galaxy could now see clearly. Fleets were reorganized, alliances reformed, old conflicts paused. The humans had brought caution, but also hope. For some races, this was the first time they felt truly safe. The Titan had demonstrated strength without cruelty, power without arrogance. The galaxy slowly accepted humans. They were no longer small, weak, or ignored. Every race would remember this day. Every system would remember the shadow of the Titan. And the voice that had changed the stars, humans, had arrived quietly, but their presence was undeniable. The council spoke in agreement for the first time. A new order was forming. Humans were recognized as a galactic power. Their rules simple: strength to survive, strength to protect, strength to demand respect. The Titan drifted among the stars, watching, waiting, ready to respond if needed, a silent guardian. A reminder that humans were not here to be ignored. The galaxy had made its choice, and the humans had won not by war, but by showing who they truly were. For the first time, many beings understood. Humans were different, humans were strong, and now they had begun their era in the galaxy. The era of humans, and the universe would never be the same.